Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to day 2 of Math Away from School. We're on Module 1, Lesson 17. And today you will be going from rates to ratios. Let's look at the learning target. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to find ratios associated with the rate when you're given a rate, right? You will also recognize that all ratios associated to a given rate are equivalent because they have the same value. So let's take a look at that. Example 1, write each ratio as a rate. So here is my ratio, right? 434 to 7. And now I wrote it as a rate. And you can also reduce it. I know that 7 divided by 7 equals 1, so the constant number is 7. What I do to the bottom, I do to the top because of the constant number. So if I do 434 divided by 7, I get 62. Sorry about that, long day. So I can rewrite the rate as 434 miles to 7 hours, right? 434 over 7, that's miles over hours. Or you can reduce it and write it as 62 miles per hour. Now let's look at letter B. The ratio of the number of laps to the number of minutes is 5 to 4. So we have the ratio, right? If you write it as a ratio, it's 5 to 4, but I need to write it as a rate. So this is how I would write it as a rate. And there's two different ways. Now it's telling us to complete the boxes or complete the model below using the ratio from example 1 part B. So I'm just taking example 1 part B, and we already know that when you write it as a ratio, this is how we write it, 5 to 4, and this is a rate, and, unit rate, and the rate. Go ahead and do part B, pause it, and then you may come on and check your work. So they gave us 6 feet per second. So this is how I would write it as a ratio and the unit rate. Now let's look at examples 3 to 6. Dave can clean pools at a constant rate of 3 pools for every 5 hours. What is the ratio of the number of pools to the number of hours? Right, so the ratio would be 3 to 5. Now I'm going to take that information to answer part B. How many pools can David clean in 10 hours? So I know the ratio from pools to hours is 3 to 5. And I'm going to use that information, the baseline, to answer how many Dave would clean in 10 hours. I'm going to do this by using a tape diagram. You may use any method that we have used, tape diagrams, tables, double number lines. In this case, I'm going to use a tape diagram. So I'm going to start by labeling pools and hours. And again, because the ratio pools to hours is 3 to 5. And I want to know how many pools Dave can clean in 10 hours. So I know that this tape diagram equals 10. Now I need to count my units. I have 5 units. So I need to divide 10 by 5. And that gives me 2. That tells me that each unit has a value of 2. Now I have enough information to answer how many pools Dave can clean. So Dave can clean 6 pools. Dave can clean 6 pools in 10 hours. Now we're answering how long does it take Dave to clean 15 pools. So I would like for you to pause the video right now and try this on your own, and then turn it back on and check your work. So this time we're answering how many pools, how long does it take him to clean 15 pools? Again, I'm using the tape diagram, starting with the basic. The ratio is 3 to 5. I know that my pools equals 15, and there are 3 equal parts, so 15 divided by 3 is 5. That means each unit has a value of 5. And now I have enough information to answer how many hours it took. There are 5 units times 5. You get 25. So it would take Dave 25 hours to clean 15 pools. Here is number 4. Emmeline can type at a constant rate of 1/4 pages per minute. Sorry, I couldn't read the page. So we know that so far that the rate is 1/4 pages per minute. Now I need to write that as a ratio. So we're writing pages 2 minutes. So the ratio would be 1:4. Now for part B, I need to answer. Emily has to type a 5-page article, but only has 18 minutes until she reaches a deadline. Does Emmeline have enough time to type the article? Why or why not? So let's take a look at what it's asking. We know it's a 5-page article, and she types in 18 minutes, and we want to know if she has enough time. I'm going to solve this problem by using a double number line. You can use, if you prefer the tape diagram, table, again, use whatever method you prefer. So I know that the ratio is 1:4, right? We always start in 0 because the ratio is 1:4. Every 1 page is 4 minutes. So that's how I label my double number line. And now I'm going to increase my double number line. And if I look here, it takes her 5 minutes it takes her 20 minutes to type 5 pages. The question is asking me if she will have enough time. And no, she will not have enough time because it takes her 20 minutes to type a 5-page paper, and she needs to finish in 18 minutes. Letter C. Emmeline has to type a 7-page article. How much time will that take her? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to extend my double number line. And I can determine through my double number line that it would take her 28 minutes. It would take Emmeline 28 minutes to type a 7-page article. So here's number 5. Read it on your own. Annotate it. You choose the method you want to answer. Double number line, tape diagram, or a table. Pause the video, and when you're finished, you can play it. After you come back, I'm going to display the answer, right? So they chose to do it with a table, but any method that you use will work. I am putting this here so you double check your work. And again, I'm doing the same for number 6 because you need to become more independent. Do it the way that makes sense to you. And pause the video, annotate it, solve it, and when you're finished, turn it back on to check your work. So here are the answers. Oh, I accidentally skipped the exit ticket. Oh, I must have left that out. Okay. Now we're on the problem set again. Do it on your own. Pause the video. When you're ready, turn it back on to check your answers. So this concludes Module 1, Lesson 17. Thank you.